I know it's been about 3 months since you saw this beautiful tray, but I have a good reason why this tray has not been used for quite some time. Number one, I haven't been making much money for the past 3 months, but if I did, it probably went to other things like groceries, rent, bills, Nintendo Switch. But regardless, throughout the months, March had to be a really good month for games, and we are back here. Welcome to my game pickups. This will be covering 3 months, which I know for the past couple of videos I've done, I've covered only 2 months. This is the first 3-monther, and I'm hoping to not do that ever again. Probably go back to 2 months even, because life is kind of hectic at the moment, in a good way. But yeah, I actually have a few games, one from the Switch, some from the 3DS, and mostly PS4, because why not? A lot of PS4 games were exclusive, and they're really good to get. But let's start with the handhelds first, because why not? I might as well cover those. First one being Dragon Quest VIII, Journey of the Cursed King for 3DS. I'm not gonna lie, this is actually a lot better than the other Dragon Quest game they brought out for the 3DS, aka Fragments of the Lost Past. And yeah, this classic actually deserves to be remade, although I kind of wish they put it to the PS4 via PS2, but I'm not really complaining either way. But this game is really good. If you have a 3DS or a new 3DS, this game is actually worth the time. And worth the money too. It's only $40, but I recommend getting it. The second and last 3DS game that I got is Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World, aka Yoshi's Woolly World 3DS. Now, I might make this little segment like a comparison type of thing, so I might as well do it right now. The Wii U has the yarn feel and the yarn look, while this one kind of has the Yoshi's Story look. That's not a bad thing, mind you. It's just one of those things that it's kind of graphically noticeable, but it still looks nice on the 3DS though. And this one, you can actually use the new amiibos like Lucas, Roy, and most of the Animal Crossing amiibos, but with the other one, you really couldn't. I tried. I thought they had an update for Woolly World for the Wii U, but they don't. So I'm stuck playing as Ness, and I really want to play as Lucas. And also, the last thing that this game has that the other one didn't is Poochie stages. Yeah, you can play as Poochie, but there's not much you can really do with Poochie because it's like level run stages. Not bad, but it could have been a lot better. And the final thing that this game has that the other one doesn't, which is actually really good, is you can actually make your own Yarn Yoshi. I know one of them I made Monokuma, and yeah, I will show it on the screen, but yeah, that was actually not bad, and you can make a lot more, but it's only for Street Pass, so it's alright. But then again, if you want a game to take on the go, but it's also from the Wii U Classic, this is actually really good to get. But I would just recommend playing on the Wii U version if you want better looks. And with that in mind, we're moving on to the Switch, which I'm putting it right here. As many of you are aware, or many people are aware, the only game that people want for the Switch is right here. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, a lot of people like this game. They love this game. It's getting 10 out of 10s, 100 out of 100, 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5, 9 out of 5. You get the idea. This game is actually getting really good reviews. And yeah, this game is a lot different from any other Zelda games. Because in most Zelda games, it's you're a hero, you're out, you gotta save the princess, you gotta collect things. This game has collecting things, but it adds a little bit more of a twist. Instead, Link wakes up after 100 years in cryogenic sleep, goes out, sees the world, is overrun with nature, and you have to do a lot more things. You have to craft your own tools, cook your own food, find your own weapons, and tame your own horses. All the while trying to get ready for the Calamity Ganon. And a lot of the characters in there are really good, and a lot of people make fan art of it. And yeah, this is up here on Game of the Year lists. Most people say this will win Game of the Year. Most people won't. People say that Horizon's going to win Game of the Year, but I have a theory. Game of the Year will probably be Breath of the Wild, and I know a lot of people are going to complain about that, but either or, it doesn't really matter. I mean, the game is good in its own right. I don't understand why people are going to throw bitch fits about it. But if somehow Horizon wins or any other game wins and not Breath of the Wild, maybe Persona 5, I'm not going to complain. They're all good games in their own right. Rant aside, I would highly recommend getting this for either the Switch, if you want to get the Switch, or if you have a Wii U, you can get the Wii U version. They both play just as good. Super Bomberman R. A lot of people had mixed feelings about this game, which I'm kind of having mixed feelings about it, but at the same time, it's a good Bomberman game. And it's a really good game to get for the Switch. However, the story mode's kind of repetitive, and it's kind of tedious as well. But other than that, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. Story mode's only like 3 to 4 hours. You could beat it in this easy. And multiplayer. Although from what I'm hearing, you can only play... if you play multiplayer online, it has to go by their internet code. Like, if someone else is playing with you, if you have the greatest connection, but the other person doesn't, it goes by their connection. Which, I have to admit, that's kind of fucking bullshit. But, regardless, not a bad game. Wait for it to price drop. And might as well play Breath of the Wild for that matter. And now we're moving on to the one game system that I own a lot of the games for this month. Or, not this month, but the other 3 months in total. The PS4. Let me just grab them and put them right here. As you can see, I have a lot of games on over here. But let's start off with the one on the top of the list. Gravity Rush 2. I have to admit, even though I was kind of upset that this game wasn't going to be on the Vita, even though Sony said that it's more of a legacy console, this is actually surprisingly good. It is better than the first one and better than the remaster. And a lot longer, too, because the first one was like 10 hours, about 14 if you had the DLC, but this one's like 20 hours, and then there's free DLC that has Raven, and that's really good. It's good that they actually gave this game with free DLC and costumes as well. I know for a fact that Nier Animada's costume is going to be in this game, and I'm going to download it, I'm going to wear the shit out of that one. But yeah, gameplay-wise, it's improved much more than the first one. And everything else is just really fantastic. Visually, it's actually a masterpiece, kind of. But there are other games that trump this one a whole lot. So, yeah, really good game and a really good start of the year, which was Gravity Rush 2. Another great start for PS4 was Horizon Zero Dawn. Like I said, this is actually the game that might get Game of the Year if Breath of the Wild doesn't, or if Persona 5 doesn't. This game is actually a mixed bag, not mixed bag, but it's a mix between Far Cry Primal and the Tomb Raider reboot. And it's actually really good. And knowing the people that made it, Guerrilla Games, the people that made Killzone, they knew what they were doing when they made this gem. And there's a lot to do in this game, and it is a hell of a lot of fun killing machines. And just everything about this game is really good. I need to go back to finish this game. And I'm going to say this right now. I actually have an idea for who would play, if I can get this right, who would play Aloy in a live-action version. Now, on the right is going to be the person that I picked, a.k.a. Rose Leslie, as people know her as Ygritte from Game of Thrones. Rewatching the third season and playing this game as well, it has a strong, really strong indication that these two characters are kind of meant to play that role. Even with Ygritte's design or look in Game of Thrones, it will make a good movie if they ever made Horizon. But then again, we all know that her video game movies are kind of shitty. Kingdom Hearts 2.8, or Final Chapter Prologue, or as I like to call it, a remake of a game, or not remake, but a remaster of a game that didn't really need it, a tech demo for Kingdom Hearts 3 and a movie. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. There's actually more to this game or this collection that meets the eye. Back cover kind of gives more story to the Keyblade War, but that's gonna start its own trilogy of the Keyblade War. But am I interested in it? Not really, because I don't play the mobile games that much. So yeah, that makes sense. Dream Drop Distance takes place after 2 and Recoded, but it's not that bad of a game. It's a hell of a lot better than Chain of Memories, or Re-Chain of Memories in my opinion. But yeah, this being remade is kind of meh. And the Fragmentary Passage. Fragmentary Passage was actually pretty good from what I played of it, and recorded with Chaos. It's kind of weird to hear Haley Joel Osment in it. But yeah, after 3 hours, it gives you an idea of what Kingdom Hearts 3 will play like, and it's not so bad. Although, granted, I kind of wish it was a little bit longer, but then again, it has the same... It is a little bit longer than Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, but it's actually kind of good, and there's a lot of missions that you can do in it, and you can get the trophies in if you really want to, but you have to play through this game a lot longer than 3 hours. That is for damn sure. Moving on, Nier Automata. If the camera will load up. There we go. Nier Automata. This game is by far Platinum's greatest game. Besides Bayonetta 2, this is up there for like best Platinum game ever made. As we all know, Platinum Games had made some really mediocre to average to bad titles such as TMNT, Mutants of Manhattan, and... must be the Turtles again. Anyways... TMNT, Mutants of Manhattan, Transformers, and The Legend of Korra. Those games were meh. They weren't bad, mind you, but they could have been done better. But with Nier Automata, it is really good. It is really well done. And the voice acting is just as amazing as it to expect. And the combat, the visuals, and the music is really fantastic. As a matter of fact, you can actually chat or make some, or have a little small talk with the voice of 2B, Kira Buckland. You can on Twitter. She's actually really chill to talk to, so if you want to, you can chat her up on Twitter. I'll put the Twitter down below, so if you want to, you can. And you can make anything you want. You can actually say you will never forget 2B's booty, because... Who wouldn't? It's Platinum. Platinum's known to make asses nice. But anyways, yeah. And this game has a lot of replayability because you can play one story and get an ending, and replay that and get a different ending. It's Yoko Taro is actually one of those people that you have to play the game over and over and over again. So yeah, Nier Automata, recommend, along with Horizon and all the others. Neo. I'm not gonna lie, Neo is one of those games that I actually like a little bit more than Dark Souls, or just any game in the Souls series, but it's up there with Salt and Sanctuary, Bloodborne, and now Neo. And the recent update actually makes this game a lot more playable. They added a pause feature to the game, so if you want to change your equipment, you can actually pause the game rather than pause, which people could still attack you in that state, and change your equipment. And they fixed the game bugs, game difficulty, and add a lot more buffs to the weapons, which this is very nice. Now, this game is also up there with the Game of the Year of 2015 or 2017, excuse me. But it's too early to tell. But yeah, this game is really good. I would highly recommend people picking this up too. And I heard that they're going to have more DLC coming for this game. So yeah, this game is highly up there. It's a good game. Sniper Elite 3. Just because I only bought this game because Sniper Elite 4 came out, and I still need to kind of get that game. But regardless, Sniper Elite 3 is kind of that's not so bad. It's up there with V2, but I kind of don't remember the game very well. I only got it because I know Sniper Elite 4 came out, and I actually want to play that version on PS4. Plus, I'm in the mood to actually collect games in the Sniper universe, which I'm going to start doing that eventually. But yeah, Sniper Elite's pretty fun. If you want to shoot Nazis in the face and see their body parts, turn to mush, this game is for you. Especially in Africa too. Steep. I'm not gonna lie, I bought this game on an impulse because I heard a lot of decent things about it, some good things about it. And when I tried it out, the game's not so bad. An open world snowboarding game. Now keep in mind, I have not played any snowboarding games in my life except for SSX World Tour because of Lich and Mega's videos about it because of a certain individual, which I have commented on a few times. But yeah, this game, it's not so bad, but I believe you have to have PlayStation Plus to play it because it requires internet connection. So if you don't have PS Plus, you're kind of boned, like me at the moment because I don't have it. Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters, the Special Gigs Daybreak Edition, or excuse me, Daybreak Special Gigs Edition. There, it's the word I'm looking for. This is actually a revamped version of the game originally for PS3 and Vita. But if you want a game that's kind of fun to play but has a really rough beginning into getting into, then this game's not so bad. I remembered Chaos telling me that this game is very hard in the beginning but becomes easy to control and easy to play later. So yeah, this game wasn't so bad. I got it for $20 and I think it's now 30 or 40, but yeah, you know what I mean by that. But yeah, that has been my games for the past 3 months, and as you can clearly see, more 2 and 2. But yeah, I'm hoping to actually get a lot more games in April, which I know for a fact I'm missing out on Yakuza 0, Tales of Berseria, Sniper Elite 4, and there are many other games coming out for the PS4, including Persona 5, which, yes, I'm going to get Persona 5. But anyways, tune in next month or a month after, depending on how many games I bought, for the others, for the more game pickup goodness. Until we meet again, this has been Living the Honest Man. Keep on and also goodbye, farewell, adieu, but most importantly, I will see you in the next game pickup in a month or so. Anyways, goodbye.